Ladies and gentlemen, the greatest wrestling podcast of all time. I'm calling it, especially after Triple H took a steaming dump on two of them. We top dogs now. Only people that are in the way, only person I say is Chris Van Vliet. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, main event CT. I am here with my partner in crime, the one and only Mid-Card Morrow, aka your grandma's favorite. What's cracking?
Orale ese vato, is your boy Martino Heat, Marty Morero. And let me tell you something, ese vato. A lot of people used to say, Marty Morero, he's an addict. They say he's an addict, ese vato. And I would look them in the eyes and they would say, oh, Marty Morero, he likes to lie to people. He likes to cheat on people. He likes to steal their hearts and take it away. And I thought about that, ese. I didn't want that to be who I am, ese vato. So I changed my ways and I let people take from me and take from me. Everything, every pound of flesh, ese vato, I let them take that away from me till I had nothing left. And I was placating the egos of weak men and the fabrications of fragile females, ese vato. And I said, no more, Holmes. No more, because I am addicted. I'm addicted to being the best on that stage, the best on this mic, and the best in any podcast studio I go to, ese vato. And I'm not taking a backseat to anybody anymore, Holmes. And that's why I'm here, because I am the best, and I'm with the best at Before the Bell, Holmes. And now when I lie, I'm not lying to myself, ese. I'm not lying to the people, Holmes. I'm lying in bed, waiting for the next day I can show exactly who I am. And I'm not getting cheated out of any more opportunities. And I'm not stealing any hearts, ese. I'm stealing for myself to be number one. And that's exactly what we do here at Before the Bell. And that's exactly what you're going to get with Martino Heat, Marty Morero. Orale, viva la raza.
Wow. Let me tell you something, boy. You on your way. You the next Lenny Bruce.
Holmes.
Yo, that was incredible. I can't lie to you, man. How do you even remember all of this stuff?
That was shower. I do it in the shower.
Man, you sweating. Like,
Yeah, that got intense, man.
That's Latino Heat. What? Martino Heat.
Martino Heat.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are joined today by a very special guest, friend of the show, writer, producer, showrunner. This man, above all else, is a wrestling fan. And he's here for you right now. Ladies and gentlemen, Mark Melara. Make some noise for him. He's right here. He's here for us. How are you, man?
I'm doing great. I'm even better being here with you guys, because that was incredible. I feel like you've conjured the spirit of Eddie in that very moment. I felt it. Of course, it's right here.
Right here.
Close to my heart.
Right.
You know,
y'all are twins with the Eddie Guerrero today.
Yeah,
man. Didn't even plan this.
It wasn't even for Cinco de Mayo. I just looked in my closet and I was like, the NWO shirt's a little tight these days. So I went for the Latino.
Today is Cinco de Mayo. I don't drink, so obviously these holidays fall on deaf ears with your boy.
St. Patrick's Day is just like, oh, that's Tuesday?
Yeah, I don't any drinking holiday. Shout out to people in the chat. Audio God, James Rivera, Luis Carrero, Royce was cracking, Marquise York, Cam Wall, King Mike Hall was cracking. As you guys come in, thank you so much for the love. I don't have an explanation to the question that you guys are going to ask today, so please don't even ask. You understand? It's the elephant in the room, and he gonna stay in the other room. In the meantime, let's talk about what we have had to deal with the past 2 weeks.
Wow.
The past 2 weeks, first of all, we missed last week, and rightfully so, because nothing really happened the week leading up except the first night of the draft.
Yeah.
And we should not call it the draft. We need to call that the WWE Shaft, because that's what they gave us, bro.
Wow.
That was a horrible draft.
But it was not. There was one draft they did where Rene Dupree was like the number one draft. So it was like, you can't get too mad that they. I think night 2 was definitely better. It
was way better.
Yeah.
But here's the problem. So, okay, starting from SmackDown night 1 of the draft, they start drafting different factions in complete 2 different shows.
Yeah, that was surprising.
Why are you not breaking this up? Like, I want to see tag teams break up. The greatest draft I saw, I think it might have been 2002 or 03 when Bradshaw and Farouk got split up.
Right.
Because it was like,
that was a big
this
choice.
is possible? Right.
Yes.
Nothing like that happened. And
the Dudleys got split, and then the Haas and Benjamin got split.
Yeah.
Shelton Shine, and then they're like, "Oh, Charlie Haas, you can team with Rico now. You can it'll be fine."
Fade off into the sunset.
Yeah.
It felt like to me, how do I say this without being okay? The NXT call-ups were great. However, a lot of great call-ups were not televised. They showed all women call-ups, and I think
Carmelo and Ilya.
Ilya.
Yeah.
But we had like 3 more guys get called up from NXT that was off air. And I'm like, why didn't they show this?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we saw what happened with the call-ups last year. Zion Quinn didn't do too much.
Yeah. But the Carmelo one was fun because you got to see it in real time. And I was like, okay, I'm really actually into a guy coming out, losing ultimately, but that's the name of the game. You know, he put himself out there. So I was very happy to see that.
You want to talk Carmelo? Let's talk Carmelo for a second. Also, by the way, you are a former WWE writer and wrestler.
Well,
which
not
we need to get
WWE, OVW. I was there for a brief period. So, you know, but I was around these future legends that we see now. So Cody was down there at the time. CM Punk was down there.
My boy Sean Spears.
Sean Spears was there. Yeah.
He was Gavin Spears then, right?
I think so. Yeah. There was quite a few people that, you know, you could just tell you were like, they've got something, you know. The Miz was even actually doing really well.
I'm a Miz guy.
Yeah. No, I mean, like he was actually at that point where he was still constructing the ring, you know, driving the truck. And then constructing the ring and still as a performer. And Spirit Squad guys had yet to become the Spirit Squad. So
really?
Mike Mondo was down there.
Johnny Jeter,
yeah, the whole crew. So it was an incredible time. It was right before Heyman went to ECW.
Wow.
So Punk hadn't been called up yet. It was an incredible time. It was 2006. Summer.
I gotta ask. So I remember hearing rumors that Elijah Burke was almost a member of the Spirit Squad. Is there anything you remember about that, or Elijah Burke in OVW?
I don't recall that. I believe he had already gotten called up once I was down there. My only experiences with Elijah Burke when I was at the company, he occasionally would pluck my chest hair. You know, it was his version of flirtation. You know, and as a member of the creative team, you know, you can't be like, excuse me, it's not appropriate. You're just like,
excuse me.
Well, you know, that's happening.
HR?
Yep.
HR?
Let me tell you something. HR was not around in 2006.
Well, I was going to say,
I promise you.
I was going to say, that was the interesting thing about getting the job at the company is that you first go through the HR meetings and they say, what are you going to do the day that Mark Henry walks up to you and he says, you know, I don't see myself in the script. Are you going to change that? Like, are you going to, like, what are you going to do in that situation?
Yeah.
And I was just like, whatever he says. You know what I mean? Like, and of course that never happened because Mark Henry was an incredibly nice guy.
Yeah.
And he was never like that. But they gave you all these crazy questions. Like, what happens if John Cena, you know, challenges you to a drinking contest? And I was like, do my best, you know? And I told him the truth. And that, of course, was not the right answer. I still got the job. But like HR is an entire different wing of that company. And then there's the road. And it's just 2 different worlds. And they never shall the 2 meet, you know?
Yeah.
What is I've always wondered that because we always see the stories like when I can't remember the name of it. Maybe it's just Road Stories that WWE did when it was on the network. And you hear the dark sides of the ring. And you hear all these stories about on the road, but nobody ever really talks about the road. What is the road like?
Well, I feel like in that era, Friday night was not live. It was taped on Tuesday. So you really did experience the road. And I did, particularly when I worked there, because it was not what they have now, which is a pretty dedicated road team and home team. So essentially the home team guys, you know, or girls, they are not allowed or they don't send them on the road. And I think there are multiple reasons. One of the reasons might be they're not really like that kind of person to be like, you know, amidst the debauchery at times, right? And it's light debauchery now compared to probably like the mid 90s, early 90s, you know. Like I felt like when I was there were guys just like, I'm going back to my room. I brought my Xbox, you know, and I was like, I respected those guys because like they have a career trajectory in mind.
Yeah.
They are saving themselves the trouble. The writers actually were more wild, I would say.
The box,
you know?
really?
Yeah, really. I truly feel that way. And I was young. I was only like 22. So I was just like going right along with it, but usually I would be the driver because, low man on the totem pole. So you drive after Raw completes, it goes off air, you clean up, and then you're getting in the rental car and you're going to the next city to tape SmackDown. And so some of the wrestlers too, they might have gone on to like a house show. If they were like Raw superstars that wouldn't be on SmackDown. A lot of times though, they were on SmackDown the next night. So they're driving 2, 3, 4 hours maybe to the next city at 11 o'clock, or 11:30. And so, you got to make the time go. So, you might, when you get back to the hotel, you want to wind down a little bit. You go to the hotel bar or whatever. So I've had numerous occasions I was actually in my room once and I was like, I finally get a good night's rest. I'm watching the History Channel. It's like a beautiful night all to myself, and then I get a phone or a text message. John Cena requests your presence at the bar. Man. It's like, oh man, like, I don't know what this is going to be. And John had already decided he didn't like me. I didn't do anything.
Way.
Well, and he's a nice guy and all, but like he saw the wrong thing. So my first night on the road, they asked me, can you give us a list of every Intercontinental Champion that's ever existed? Now, the website didn't have that at the time. So I went to the place I always go, or at least to go, WrestleZone.com or whatever, one of these sites. And I went through and I found all the Intercontinental Champions. He walks up behind me in the writer's office and goes, this mark is on the dirt sheets, no. And then, and then it was just like, oh shit, like I'm screwed. So I think he had already questioned, my allegiance or whatever. And so that night though, like I was going to be tested. Fortunately, some douchebag from the offices was there, like marketing guy or something. And he made a bigger ass of himself and was subsequently, tested.
I love that. That's like in school, I always say I was really dark as a kid. Like I was like the blackest kid in my school, except there was always somebody blacker. So I never got the jokes, right? Even when being a chubby kid, it was always a fatter kid. Like nobody ever gave me the guts like that. So that is the perfect scenario.
Yes.
No, one time someone told me I look like what's under the bed. That was like the meanest dark. He used to roast me, man.
Was this the same kid that made fun of you with the neck thing?
That was like a different kid, bro.
How many kids were destroying you on a daily basis?
Oh, that's a crazy way to say that. Such crazy phrasing, especially this week. But no, I was pretty. So it was so my totem pole, like the totem pole of the writers in WWE, but in my school was bottom of the barrel was like this one kid who was like dirty and like poor.
Dirty kids get it first.
And then
clean your kids, ladies and gentlemen.
Clean your kids. Definitely clean your kids. Or tell them to clean themselves at that point. Because it was like high school. Then it was like us band geeks. And like we had our own kind of ecosystem as well. Yeah. So 9th and 10th grade destroyed me. But then like 11th and 12th grade, I made it to the top. So then I was kind of cooler with the other kids, like the football players and the wrestlers and the cheerleaders and all that stuff. Because I was also like smart and my mom was the principal. So
can't forget about that.
Yeah.
So where you went wrong is you didn't do what I did, which was build a wrestling ring in your garage and then have all of your friends come over and slam them. And then other kids find out and be like, that's pretty weird. And hold your own pay-per-views. It was called Small Town Wrasslin', and I spelled it WRASSLIN apostrophe. Because I wanted them to know, I know my grammar.
I love that you chose that instead of what a lot of kids in the country are doing, which is getting weapons and going to school.
True.
So I appreciate that.
Yeah. We definitely had some of that going on in our school too. But that was how you really made, the women loved that. That was how you got girls was
he wrestled too. Did you wrestle on the team or you just took it?
No, I never. That's the funny thing is like I never had any interest in like collegiate wrestling. To me, like that seemed hard. Like it seemed like I would actually have to cut weight and all that stuff. I was like, no, thank you. I much rather prefer joining the track team, saying that I want to be a pole vaulter, but in fact actually just use the mats to slam fellow track
or you're
team
taking
members.
You would slam people.
Yeah, I'd be like, hey, I'm learning how to do this. I can't do this.
Man, you are dark.
Yeah,
I like your style.
I would like use any opportunity to like use the mats at school to practice stuff. Because I also had that DVD that came out at the time that John Cena was in. Actually,
wait a second, hold this thought because
learn how to wrestle.
I'm appreciating these comments and I'm about to speed read. Cam Wall, you out of control. Cam Wall says the draft was weaker than Triple H's heart. Hey man,
Wow.
you're banned. King Mike Hall, they're gonna have to bring back the cruiserweight belt for guys like Carmelo. Hold that thought on Carmelo. Don't let me forget, because I want to get back to that. They got the Speed Championship now, which they had to give Ricochet something. He's been shining, but you don't need a title for that. Just a trophy like the Andre the Giant Battle Royal.
But I think they're going to make that like a reoccurring show.
They should, but I don't need to see that title like on Raw or SmackDown when it's a Twitter show. Come on, man. Look at you now, boy.
X.com.
Look at you now. Hope you all are doing well. Thank you so much, Eastside Reviews. Happy Cinco de Mayo to you as well, James. Under the Bed Podcast. That's classic. Dusty's Kids Got It Bad. Oh, man. That version of NXT, the first version, Martin, you're my guy, but I would have laughed my ass off and been like, come on, Martin. Get his ass back all the way while laughing. That's El Boogie. No, we got to fight after something like that. Absolutely. Mom being the principal is like having your parent be the sheriff in your hometown. Eastside Reviews. That's crazy that you still got bullied and having your mom as the principal is also disgusting work, bro.
Yeah, man. Well, because I wasn't a snitch.
Yeah,
like,
you can't.
Then they're like, oh, you ran to your mom? I was like, no.
I don't even know that lady.
Yeah. The only time I said something to my mom was when this kid was like being real racist to me. I almost said his name. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, that's a lawsuit.
Maybe. I don't care.
You don't know what he does in life now. You know?
That's true. Yeah.
You got me fired for Walmart. Hey, man, you called me the N-word.
Probably a hedge fund manager, I'm going to guess.
That too?
But I don't know,
No.
White guy in the South? He's succeeding no matter what.
Yeah, he's definitely doing it. Well, I don't think he's doing that well. I don't know. I'll look on Facebook later, but we're like there was a play that was going on in the school, and I wanted to sit in the front row because my friend was in the play. And the dude had an open seat next to him. I'm like, hey, is it cool if I sit there? He goes, no. I go, what do you, it's an open, like, just let me sit there. And he goes, no, because you're black and you stink. And I go, yo, that's, also, that hurt my feelings. I was like, I know I don't stink. I've been putting on my brute, So that was the one time I was like, hey, Bob, this guy said this. And so she was like, why'd you, he was like, well, I'm not. I don't know. I just say that. I go, yeah, you did. Why would I make that up?
Yeah.
Like, I don't care about you that much. Let
me tell you something. The fall of 99, Brute was fire.
Hell yeah.
Right?
The fall of 99.
Yeah.
By spring, you kind of got out of it. But that fall, 99, boy,
Old Spice started taking over.
Old Spice, Boy Speed Stick. I remember going through all of these, bro.
Yeah.
And
Boy Speed Stick.
Boy Speed Stick. And then my mom got me Mitchum, and I was like, yeah, I think I'm a Mitchum guy.
Mitchum doesn't work.
What?
It did not work for me. Yeah.
You got the one without aluminum. That was your issue.
Yeah. More heavy metals. Big fan of heavy metal, and I want it in my deodorant. That's my feeling.
That's my thing.
Yeah.
Carmelo.
Yes.
Carmelo Hayes. They tried to repackage Carmelo because obviously he was called up, 6 months ago to SmackDown? Didn't really work out.
He wasn't really called up. I think they were just kind of testing the waters because they had a few other people. They were like, oh, let's like plant the seeds of this person from NXT. Because I remember they did that with Dragon Lee also, where they was like, hey, let's see how he does over here real quick. And I think there was a couple other people they kind of did that with, but he was doing the kind of thing with Lashley and the Street Profits and was like,
was he?
Well, he was like, they were like, we're going to teach you how to do XYZ because they were kind of doing like a back and forth between SmackDown and NXT with him, Profits and Lashley.
Oh, they were down at NXT doing these segments.
So yeah, it might be like a little bit of backstage.
I'm like, why did I miss this?
Well, yeah.
But here's the thing. It showed me a couple of things when Carmelo got called up. One, in order of my feelings. One, Trick Williams is way more over than Carmelo. And the fact that the chance have followed him to the main roster shows that Trick is more ready than he is. Two, Carmelo is not likable. I'm going to just say that right now.
Yeah, he's a good heel.
He's a great heel. Yeah. And what showed me that was the backstage segment with Nick Aldis, Carmelo, and Bobby Lashley.
Yeah.
When he pissed off Bobby Lashley, I was like, now I like this
guy.
Cocky.
He's like, I don't need you.
Yeah.
No matter how many titles you won,
Which makes it feel like a better version of Austin Theory when he got the push from Vince. Yeah. I like the direction that they're pushing him in now because I want to hate him.
He's Bloston Theory. Like Black Austin Theory?
Well, first of all, let me first. I was reacting. and then you explained it. Woo, boy. I ain't never seen nobody snatch a laugh so quick. Text me the name. I'll look him up. Let me see what the small real estate agent he works at.
Yeah.
The guy who bullied Martin.
That's about right.
Okay.
Oh, Cam says, oh, Tussie. That's the deodorant you used back in the day. Trampolines had us thinking we were the Hardy Boys. Facts, Ravens. King Mike Hall. But is the official scent of Fresh Edge Up. Brute is the official scent of Fresh Edge Up. I'll give you that. Tussie was wild. Fingering the deodorant is diabolical.
That's
Never would I. If you're using deodorant without that aluminum, stay away from me.
Yeah. Your deodorant should cause you to die 40 years later. That's
Man,
like,
it's the only thing that works.
But you didn't stink.
yeah.
But you did not stink.
Did you do backyard wrestling, CT?
Yes, we wrestled a lot. Here's the funny thing. Speaking about trampolines, we wrestled on the grass all the time, right? Because the grass was soft. You wanted some real leafy grass. And then when you found a friend that had a trampoline, you're like, oh, I'm in the WWE now, bro.
Yeah.
I can hit the rock bottom. I'm doing my special moves were rock bottom, super kick, and I would hit somebody with a stunner every now and then. But the choke slam to the smaller kids, but not like, I can't lift nobody my size at that time.
Yeah.
What
Plus
were
they didn't know how to do all the moves as well. They didn't understand, like, all right, as we kind of move our bodies up, that's when you go up and you do a back bump. That's what
What were
y'all
your
learn
signatures?
when you do the OV. Like when I went down to OVW, that was the kind of stuff like they would tell us, like, just do what you did. Stop thinking so much about it and just do what you did, because we all know you guys did backyard wrestling. So they would tell us, and just do what you did then, because it's like training to be a baseball player or a basketball player. Once you're playing, you put that stuff out, you put the practice out the window and you just play. And that's like what I did. And then I was like, oh, this is coming naturally. And like I was throwing razor punches, I was giving Sean kicks, or well, probably more like the Rock kick. It's that like haul off
Stutter.
Yes, yeah,
Stutter kick.
Yeah. And then and it was funny because you were like, oh, I internalized so much of that stuff. But I will tell you, back bump first time, you'll knock the wind out of you. You
Really?
think that you're gonna get give, and you're like, my stepdad always said it was like a trampoline. Wrong.
No.
Boom. Oh, I was feeling it. I was like, okay, these guys are putting their bodies through.
But wait,
through hell.
take me back though, because I want to know, because I just gave you my signatures and finishers.
Yeah.
Before you got into the OVW ring, this is backyard wrestling. What were your signatures and finishers?
Blockbuster. Top
Whoa.
rope.
Really?
Top rope.
Back then?
Yeah. Because we built the ring out of mattresses with like a strong canvas tied over it, so it was fairly taut. And then we had actual like metal or wire, ropes that we put into the pillars of the garage. Yeah, I went there.
Wow.
And and then tightened them, whatever. Put the
Right.
No, my stepdad worked for a power company, like lineman, so he had these cables. So I was like, yeah, just get us those cables, we'll tie them tight, I'll put the turnbuckles on. And so I was able to do like actual like top rope moves.
Blockbuster.
Yeah.
Now take me to OVW. But before you say OVW,
Yeah.
because hey man, this ring sounds perfect.
That's it. Yeah.
What were your backyard finishers? And tell us in the chat, what were your backyard finishers as well?
Well, okay. I'm gonna tell you a story that will better encapsulate, because I didn't really have a finisher. I was a heel. I would just do a roll up or whatever and stuff like that. But there was one
AKA a cheater is what you're saying.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Chain steel. Come
My
on.
name was like the Prophet. Like that was my PROFIT, the Prophet, and like money was my objective, et cetera, et cetera.
Big money Matt.
Yeah.
That's dope.
So, oh geez. Producer Mark said CT out here proclaiming he was a bottom.
What?
That's crazy. That is
What? When? I was about to cuss. The rock bottom.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
wow.
That's crazy.
He wasn't a rock fan. You know? He's a DDP
you don't
guy.
get it, man.
Future
You don't get
Shock DDT. Who's
So,
that?
all right, so
Oz
here-
the Alchemist.
So here's what happened. So I got recruited for this like wrestling company, right? So we do like BWA, Birmingham Wrestling Alliance, and it was like on MySpace and stuff, right? So the dude who recruited me, his name was Maurice, and he was like, "Hey, we're gonna do some training at this guy's backyard in Leeds, right?" And I thought, oh, it's gonna be like real training or something. It'll be a ring there, set up, da da da. I get there and it was I brought my cousin because my mama was like, we don't know these white people, and Leeds is not like the safest place for,
For those of you guys who don't know, he's from Alabama, which means the entire state is not safe for people like us. Now keep going.
So I brought my cousin Brandon. And
His name's Brandon.
Yeah.
He'll protect me.
Yeah, my cousin Brandon. I brought him with me, and like we get to these folks' backyard. It's like dusty, you know what I mean? And
No roads.
And the lady, the I guess the wife or something. I remember my cousin. He said it looked like her foot was rolled up like salami. So she
The
was.
fuck?
So her foot had like just paper wrapped, like them toes was gone, and she had paper wrapped over it. And then they had a bowl of warm sodas, right? She was like, y'all want, it was like flies all over the place. And she was like, do y'all want a Sprite? And she had a claw hand. So we weren't ready for that. But she had a claw hand and like grabbed it. She had another like regular hand. She grabbed it with the claw hand to like give us a Sprite. We're like, no, we're good. We'll need that.
She didn't puncture the Sprite with the claw. Y'all want some Sprite?
Yep.
Ma'am, do you not hear
I feel like
this?
we're a scary movie right
You
here.
have to
Chris
rest your
Elliott.
hand.
So then we're getting ready for, it's supposed to be a triple threat 3 stages of hell match, right?
Yeah.
Which makes no sense when you think about it. And then one dude was like, well, I'm the hardcore champion, so I have to win one fall. We're like, all right, bet. So because the first match is supposed to be like a ladder match at the end of it all. So mind you, we're on a trampoline. I'm in the ring first, or whatever. I'm on the trampoline first. And then the dude, his name was Little James, right? And Little James, his MySpace profile, his bio just said, I was adopted when I was 5'5". Undertaker's my favorite wrestler. That,
right.
So that should tell you everything you know, right? But Little James had a kid too somehow. And I do think Little James was like inbred. So that's part of like what
You think? The scene that you're painting me, a woman has a claw hand, a pastrami appendage down here at the bottom, and somebody named Lil James that was adopted at 5.5, not in half. Keep going, man.
Doesn't sound like Alabama to me, but I don't.
Inbred. You think?
And Lil James was real big too, just so you
Of course he is.
He had a little tank top on. And so I'm in the ring, I'm getting ready for the match. Lil James is coming down these stairs, and he has a towel over his head like Taz. He got this like hard rock music. And then like his son was, because we were filming this, his son was like running, dad, running around and stuff. And so Lil James, he's on the stairs, he looks hard as hell, right? Pause.
That's a good pause. I wasn't gonna say that. It's a story.
And then he like misstepped one step and then
Shockmaster
fell all the way down, and then he didn't even get up pretty. He was like, ugh. And he had like blood on his elbow, and his son's like, Dad, are you okay? And he was like, I was crying. And so now he's mad, so he charges at me. He's like trying to choke slam me. I'm still laughing because I wasn't ready to watch this man. And I was like, come on, bro. Like, you can't be mad. You look how you felt. Why are you mad at me?
But when was the training portion of this? That's
Great
my question.
This is straight to a match.
Yeah, you just went right in.
This showmanship.
There was none. We were lied to.
Was there a ring or this is on grass?
It was on a trampoline.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and then the ladder, they had this rickety like half of a wooden ladder they set up on a tree, and you had to climb it to grab the contract. And I think Maurice won. We all won a fall. So it wasn't really like
Yeah. So technically you're still the hardcore champion of MySpace wrestling. I forget the name of the
Great
company.
point.
So, well, I won the first fall. Then James had to retain the title, so he pinned me in the second fall.
Yes. It's
Then
important.
Maurice won the third fall by grabbing the contract.
Okay.
What did Brandon, your cousin, say when y'all left?
He was like, what are you doing with these people? Like,
Yeah. Why do you like wrestling? That's always a big question
That's
for people.
Wild.
no,
Now-
he liked wrestling too. So yeah, shout out to Brandon and the boys.
So take us back now.
Yeah.
Give us the transition from you wrestling to going into creative.
So I knew in college, I went to Syracuse University, that like, I gotta do this before I join the creative side or backstage. Like I knew I had to at least attempt to be a wrestler or train or something. I had watched the UPW, it's the one that John Cena's on. I think Samoa Joe and John Cena are on that one. It's great. And I like studied that, you know, like I was really into it and longtime fan, you know, since I was like 3 or whatever. And, you know, watch old tapes, the whole deal. And so I went down to OVW in my junior year of college, like in the summer. So
Are you from Louisville?
Upstate New York.
Okay.
Yeah. So I packed everything in my Toyota Camry.
Wow.
And, you know, every other kid in my school, you know, like in the class was like, I'm going to do an internship for Conan O'Brien. I'm going to New York to work for SNL, whatever. Right. And I was like, I'm going to go to OVW and attempt to become a pro wrestler. You know, and I packed my car.
Best dream out of all of them.
Yeah, exactly. My parents were like, okay, well, whatever. That's your choice. And drove down there, stayed in an extended stay America hotel, at which Heidenreich was still a paying customer. And yeah, he would do his laundry all the time. And no, at that time, he was no longer, you know, doing backstage rape or anything.
Jesus
Michael Cole. Do you remember that?
Christ.
Yes.
Yeah, that was one of the worst storyline. It was. Everyone always talks about Katie Vick, and it's like, I don't know, Heidenreich and Michael Cole, that's pretty bad.
Yeah.
You know,
Definitely top 2.
Yeah.
Even looking at clips of him and Michael Cole make you feel so uncomfortable,
Yeah,
bro.
it's crazy.
Up against that wall.
Man.
Yeah.
I want to read you one of my poems, Michael Cole.
Oh, Michael Cole deserved better.
Yeah. It was that era of your Snitsky's and stuff. But
Yeah.
so I lived at Extended Stay America Hotel, which is incredible.
I forgot.
Foot fetish.
Foot fetish.
Yeah.
Bro.
And he killed a baby.
Yeah. It wasn't my fault. I think it was
That was his whole gimmick. Was, I didn't mean to kill that baby.
Which you know the writers at the time were like, let's just do The Simpsons, like the I didn't do it boy, you know, Bart Simpson, I didn't do it. That's what it was, you know. But
Vince
so
was a menace.
Yes. But it was a crazy time because I was staying in a hotel, which was great for, you know, you get your crank the AC, you know, you don't pay for that. Get the linens changed, you know, so it was all good. And worked at a local like bar, cafe, whatever, like on the water. So that was kind of fun. And then I went to OVW twice a week. Tuesdays and Thursdays, I think. I started the beginner's class. I expected, like Stone Cold talks about this in one of his Broken Skull sessions, I believe, but he was like, he expected it his first day going down to train, I think wherever that was in Victoria or somewhere, he was expecting like to be like amongst titans and like people in shape and like have real competition. But you walk in sometimes to these things, you're like, oh, I'm the most fit person here.
A lot of sludge bodies.
Yeah, I can run these. One guy's literal name they gave him was Cartman because he looked like Cartman.
Wow.
So, you know, I went in there, was expecting to.
That would have been the day I quit. If I, like, oh, you're Cartman.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Maybe this isn't for me.
Yeah. Some big sort of cornbread dude was named Cornbread. You know, so that's what I was dealing with. So then I did the beginner's class for about a month, and then they were like, "Yeah, you're good enough," and I was able to do the intermediate, which was Rip Rogers' class. I don't know if you ever followed him on Twitter, but he's an interesting follow.
Jim Cornette guy.
Yeah. And so he was running the intermediate class, and then the advanced class was an Al Snow joint in which he was preparing people for not so much like the basics or the, you know, like how to craft your persona or a little bit of that, but also just how to be a wrestler that's on TV, how to work for television, know where the hard camera is, understand promos, for example, was a big part. That promo would have killed in our classes.
Oh, he's amazing.
Yeah, that was incredible.
Hey man, hire me.
Yeah. I did a promo that got a standing ovation, and again, it's just like kind of like you just kind of like get in that zone and go. My character was Frankie Forget About It. I didn't coin it.
Yeah.
One of the commentators came around, and it was the night we were taping for OVW, and I was in a battle royal, and he's like, "What's your name?" And I had like a Italian festival from Syracuse. It was the forget the name of it, but it had Forget About It on the shirt. He goes, "I don't use the name on there, Frankie Forget About It," and I was like, "Yeah."
Get that man in office.
That'll work. So that became the gimmick. And
did you know my boy Timmy Baltimore?
That's the one who gave me that.
I knew it.
Yeah, Timmy.
Yeah, that's one of my best friends.
Yeah, he was great. He was like one of those people you were like, oh, he has a mind for this business.
Yeah,
you know, he gets it. And yeah, so he coined Frankie Forget About It, and then I proceeded to get thrown out very quickly.
Did you? By the way, did you hear the story of his call up and subsequent quitting?
I think it was after I was there. Yeah, probably. I was there when Alicia Fox and Kelly Kelly.
Yeah.
Kelly.
Yeah.
Hold
And
on. MTK Fit. Also, you read some of these too, man. You see these cameras blocking me from seeing the comments.
I can get my glasses on.
That is fair. I'm gonna stall you out. That was fair. They really hold Michael Cole back then.
He didn't read.
Yeah. Cole looked helpless. AF. Facts. Cornbread. That's also a good name. Yeah. Martin has not missed on promo. That's a fact. King Mike Hall will give you that compliment. So we have so much to get to. Number one. JD McDonough got roasted by Michael Cole on Monday Night Raw. Yes. And he said, with the size of that Klingon type head. And when he said type head, I said, how many black friends does Michael Cole have? Because that was a direct black insult.
Yeah.
And these are facts. Braun Strowman is back.
Yes.
I'm a Braun guy.
Yeah.
However, I think we talked about this before where we're like, what if Braun was a part of
the new Wyatt family?
Yeah, of the new Wyatt family. And it doesn't seem like it's going to be that way because honestly, I hate to say this, but it seems like he's past that. He's been a top guy.
Yeah. And also I think that especially with Cody now on SmackDown, with Seth out, you need a top babyface for Raw, or it's more top babyfaces for Raw, and Braun Strowman definitely fills that role that a lot of those guys either already quit for or still kind of building up to.
Shout out to Mini Portable. Mini Portable just says, CT, I was free today. Here's the thing, Mini Portable. You didn't tell me, okay? We was talking about my show today, but you didn't tell me. Tell me when you free. We definitely gonna get you on here. You know you're a friend of the show. We love Mini Portable. The people love Mini Portable. Keep going.
No, that was it. And yeah, Mini Porter, you got to follow me back on Instagram, man.
Yeah,
we're homies, but I guess because I wasn't here that day.
Yeah, you got to actually meet her.
Okay.
Here's the things you got to learn about Mini Portable. This is for you, Mark. Mini Portable is an incredible content creator. She's a huge wrestling fan. Follows every wrestling company.
Love that.
And she's also happened to be a beautiful woman, right? So
these are rare things.
These are rare things. You know what I mean? Because a lot of women who watch wrestling are not attractive, but you got many who is attractive. Mm-hmm. So I say that to say all of these things make sense for you to follow because she's wrestling. Hey, follow me back. But you got to remember she's also a beautiful girl and hasn't met you physically yet. Yeah. But yes, Minnie, you got to follow back Martin.
On promos alone, this man deserves a follow.
That's a fact. Is she invited to the cookout? Mini Portable? Here's the thing. You know my thing, bro. If you're a minority, you invited to the cookout. She's a minority. She's not white. I don't even think you white. You seem Latin.
He's Italian.
I'm Italian.
Okay.
And French.
Frankie, forget about
and French, which we'll get to for Backlash.
Backlash.
Yeah.
Yo. Okay, hold on.
Those French fans know what's up.
Let me see.
That might have been top 5 crowds of all time.
It was just
Let's go straight to it. It is. It's the best. It felt like Backlash was a house show that went into premium live event status.
Yeah.
Because
it was a party.
Yeah. From SmackDown forward, bro.
Yeah. They sang throughout everything.
Yeah.
What was the song they did during Phenomenal? Every time you say Phenomenal, they go like,
I started singing it to myself and I don't know what I was even singing.
Yeah.
Something about like the Marseille song. I think I looked it up on Reddit. It was something like that.
I was saying there's a Reddit thread that had like, these are all the chants and songs and what they made. You're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, that was incredible.
What is an MFT? This has been pissing me off.
My Family Ties.
My Family Ties? I thought it was My Family Tree.
That's what I thought it was My Family Tree. At least I saw that.
My Family Ties. He's my MFT.
Yeah, because they're not family, but they're family adjacent. Like, that's the homie. That's he kicks it with the family.
Which was the opening match? The Bloodline versus Randy Orton and Kevin Owens.
We knew
somebody from the Bloodline was coming out. We thought it was gonna be Jacob, but not yet apparently. And now we got Tonga Loa.
Yeah, which I'll take it. Because then you set up them as the tag team.
Yep.
Solo has looked so good.
Yeah, he looks great
as just the way he stepped up, and I'm very curious to see how they continue to build that.
But Jimmy's been off TV for a couple of weeks now,
and he's hurt. He's legit.
Oh, he's really hurt.
Oh
yeah.
What happened? What's the injury?
I don't know. They haven't said that part.
I think they said it happened during WrestleMania, right?
Yeah.
Tonga Loa is the newest member. Didn't even have him on my bingo card. That's a fact. We got new women's tag team champions.
He was done with New Japan.
Yeah.
That was the other part. I was like, oh, okay, all right. We're gonna get Hikuleo next.
My wife is not a wrestling fan, but she has told me, she's like, all this Bloodline stuff's really, really good.
It's great.
Yeah. She's like, I don't know why. She's like, I think it's also like they just look like warriors, and so like I'm enthralled. Also, she thinks Roman's hot, so that's part
That'll
of
do
it. But I think it's true though. Like there's something about like, and I think that's true. They said years ago, like I think Brian Gewirtz, it was like Raven getting mad at Brian Gewirtz because he was saying like these guys like. Writers have never been in a fight in their lives. Like they haven't really like lived in that way.
Yeah.
And I think there's truth to that. And so when you see wrestlers that you're like, these are badass people, you know, and it just makes for a better product.
Yeah. Mini Portable asks, what's your IG, Martin?
Oh, at Martin M. Morrow. That's for everyone in the chat too. Give me a follow. If anybody wants to come to the show tonight, late for work at the for Netflix is a joke tonight, 9 p.m. Shoot me a message on IG. I'll get you guys tickets.
Oz the Alchemist says, what do you think they're saving Jacob for? I think they might be saving him for I hate to say SummerSlam. It's got to be something big that they're pulling him back for, because Tonga Loa, we didn't even expect that. So it's like, it's got to be a big angle. But at the same time, we don't know if he's coming in a face or a heel, because if he's coming in a face, that's what they're saving him for. Some kind of confrontation like they showed shades of with the Bloodline and Jey Uso backstage at Backlash. But we got new women's tag team champions.
Yeah.
We knew it was coming. It was time.
You know, there was a brief moment where I was like, oh, I think Asuka might get this, might beat him.
Yeah, I have thoughts about that team, but
let's hear it, because we have thoughts as well.
Because I don't know, I felt like you're now stifling
Belair?
Jade, like her sort of trajectory as a single star to just immediately, you know, strap her in as a tag team wrestler.
Are you ready?
But they look good together. I mean, they're matching outfits and stuff. That's fine. But I want more for her.
I want more for Bianca. But the problem is this: Jade's not ready. Like when you look at her,
I see what you mean. Yeah,
she's getting better in the ring. She's a star.
No,
she's not ready
like
on the mic.
Communication breakdown too during that match.
Yeah. But it's like Bianca has been tasked with having her under her wing, and develop her more. That's going to turn into a feud between those two. Hopefully by Survivor Series, maybe, and then maybe it rides all the way to Mania. But that's what that is. In the meantime, I feel like. I know Tiffany Stratton is going to be pushed to the moon, but I did not want Naomi to have to eat that pin. It's like Naomi taking that pin. Bailey didn't look strong in that match by the finish. It was more about Naomi and Tiffany, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, they seem to have like a built-in, because this is what, their third or fourth match together.
Yeah,
I think Tiffany won the first one, Naomi won the second one, and then this third one went to like a draw, and they had this triple threat match. But they feel like such a good antithesis of each other. You have this like bleach blonde, you know, fake boobed like white girl versus it's Bring It On.
Yeah,
it's like WWE's version of Bring It On.
Yeah.
Oh, we barat. That's what they say. Yeah. It's a barat. That's what I miss about the early 2000s. The hard R. Barat. Yeah, that's a crazy toss.
Yeah, you missed the hard R.
I missed the hard R.
Well, I have a place for you. It's called Leeds, Alabama.
There you go. Yeah.
Lil James and his son, who's probably now Big James and now his boyfriend. What arm movements are you making? And the woman with the hook. Oh man, that would be crazy. I really appreciate y'all leaving as many comments as y'all are. They're going a lot fast. I'm trying to shout y'all out.
Yeah. Somebody had my
K-Ron
for MFT. Was it my thumb? I can't see it now. It's not there anymore.
Nah, Jake for sure. He'll So someone said, what would be your
mad face terror?
Yeah, that's true too.
What would be your 5 versus 5 of the new Bloodline versus who at Survivor Series War Games?
Okay. Think of your answer. I'm gonna take this bullet.
Okay.
5 versus 5.
But I think it should be 4 versus 4.
It's got to be 4 because you can't do
classic.
5.
Yeah.
I love the classic match. I wish that they would do War Games in the cell, and I've said this before. I wish they would do the War Games, but have elimination as opposed to just one win. What are we doing?
Yes.
Or if you're gonna give us that, give us an elimination match, traditional Survivor Series.
Yes.
But if I got to do 5, I can't do 5 on 5. I got to do 4 on 4, and that would be Jacob, Tongaloa, Tama Tonka, It's too many.
Yeah.
You know what the names
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
And Solo.
Tonka Truck.
Tonka Truck.
Tyson Tomko.
Bro.
Yeah.
The names.
He's got enough tattoos. I mean,
He's got so those four. So the new Bloodline versus versus the Usos, Roman Reigns. Damn, but you keep forgetting about The Rock. So The Rock.
So then you could do 5 versus 5.
You couldn't because who's gonna be the
for the other team?
that means you got to get somebody outside of the Bloodline.
Cody
It's got to be
Sammy.
Cody and Sammy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Cody's like, are they going to, what if they just jump Cody the whole time? The whole thing? You're like, oh, well, I wasn't seeing that.
I feel
And
like
Seth.
I want The Rock on the other side of the coin. I want The Rock with
As a face?
no as a heel.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's with that group, and then you bring in Sammy, or I mean, really, you're building the Roman and The Rock. So
Yes.
as long as they're sort of the centerpieces, I think you're in for a good time. But man, I love an elimination because then you get like the fun of other run-ins, because if they're down to like the odds are against, Roman, for example, and he's getting beat down, then you can send in Cody, then you can send in Sammy, whatever, right?
I'm sorry about that. Here's the thing. First of all, I'm not gonna name drop, but one of my big friends just hit me and I had to respond. But in the meantime, great defense from Cody.
Mhm.
But that Damian Priest Jey Uso match went hard,
That
bro.
was a great
Yeah.
match.
Yeah.
That was an incredible match. And it's like they're showing, of course, they're trying to make Damian Priest a face,
Yeah.
but at the same time,
I'm kind of mad at how he treated JD and Finn.
me too.
Yeah, it looked bad, just the way of like, you sit over here.
Yeah, and then he grabbed his face and the beard. You grabbed
Yeah.
another man's beard. You out of
No,
control.
yeah, I might have to stab you after
Don't-
that. If you grab my face like this, don't do this. If you're gonna choke me, choke me. If you're gonna face palm me, but here,
Grabbed his beard like he was a boy.
hey,
Mhm.
What you doing, man? I told you to stay in the back. And Finn was like,
I
was
flew all the
like,
way here, bro. Why are you yelling at me?
I flew to France. You don't get that kind of headroom from JD. But Cody's match against AJ was great. It's the first match we've seen without interference. And it was a straight up wrestling match in years, which was great. I want to see a little bit more because the promo that AJ cut against Cody Friday night on SmackDown was so incredible. I wanted them to have more promo offs and for them to just slotted it in. And with King of the Ring coming up next month, in 2 weeks, I feel like that might be a possibility.
Yeah, and that the King of the Ring and the Queen of the Ring, both of those look good this year. They've built that.
I'm surprised JD didn't tip over because of that big ass head. ASAP reviews, you're spot on.
Yeah, but yeah, man, this might be the best build to a King and Queen of the Ring since when it was like an actual pay-per-view.
Yeah.
What was that like? 03 was like the last.
Yeah.
Or no, when Brock won.
Okay. Yeah. To me,
But-
the greatest of the most recent era would be King Booker, just in terms of somebody who took
course.
the king gimmick to the next level.
That's
I was
you
fortunate.
remembered it though.
Yeah, when I worked at the company, I was my last thing before I was done. I was tasked with sort of like dealing with Triple H's return at SummerSlam and Booker T. So I got to hang with Booker for like a month.
What is Booker like, bro?
He's the nicest guy. Like, like in the WWE like catering area, it's like middle school. You walk in, you get your food, and you go, oh shit. I don't know where to sit. I don't know. I don't know who are my friends. I don't know. And Booker's like, hey man, come over here. And it was like him and Charmel just always invited me. I always hung out with him. I got along most with like Booker, Mark Henry, and like all the ECW misfits. Yes. But all the ECW misfits too, because it was like they just
Balls Mahoney.
Well, not so much him, but Sandman, Taz, like these guys, because I think they always felt a little bit like on the outside too. So but that was a great time because you got to see Booker like literally like the switch. Like where you're talking to Booker in a moment and then King Booker suddenly just like comes out and you're like, damn, this guy is like, he's not a Shakespearean actor, but he's like the comedic version of
the commitment,
that.
man.
And you know what's
So
crazy
good.
too? WCW didn't let him be funny.
No.
And so we didn't see that, I was a huge Booker T fan.
Same.
Me too.
And
Me
Harlem
too.
Heat. Not so much Harlem Heat 2000, but
Yeah.
but when he came over to, you remember Big T?
No, keep going. Keep going. I'm gonna read it.
But when he came over to WWE, he had the Austin promo where he got beat up in the grocery store.
Yeah.
And when he was praying, and when I'm just a booker, like there's so many
Goldust.
Him and Goldust, man.
Yeah, I love that team.
The Scorpion King, there's so much he did that was like, this guy is way funnier than anyone could have guessed or given
and
him
extremely
credit for.
talented too. But yeah, I'm down for a good King of the Ring here. I think Tiffy time might be.
I think she'd be a great candidate. Well, hold on, before we break down our choices,
kind of a diva.
Mark, not this Mark, our producer Mark, might have comment of the day.
Oh,
it might be comment of the day. I'm sorry, Chet. You still have time to dethrone him.
You can do it.
But right now, he has comment of the day. He says JD's biggest enemy is crew neck shirts. Hey, yo, that is spot on.
Yeah.
Give me, as quick as you can, you ain't got to spit it out, but give me your three. Think of 3 women that you want to be queen of the ring. Same for you, but you're going first.
All right.
Since I took the bullet on the first one. Go ahead.
Okay. I think that would be a good shine for Laya Valkyria. Zoe Stark needs something. I don't know if I can see her as Queen of the Ring. Shayna Baszler, she's in it. I'd like her to at least make it to the finals. I think she'd be a good, like, Queen of Spades, Queen Shayna. And she needs something to kind of change her up. So seeing, big lesbian energy, Shayna Baszler, like, having to do, like, a doll up kind of deal. They have his crown on her and stuff. He's like, what am I supposed to,
League of Their Own,
Yeah. I'd love that. And I think that'd be good. That'd be a good way to kind of shift her energy and maybe see Shayna's funny, something like that. So that'd be my number 1 is Shayna Baszler. Number 2 would probably be, I'm going to say Shayna Baszler. And then for the men, Gunther. I want to see King Gunther.
Oh, it can't go to the men that fast, man. We didn't even got through the women yet.
He said 3.
The balls on this guy. So 1, I'm going to say Nia Jax, Liv Morgan, and my 3rd would definitely be Tiffany Stratton because she's on fire, and these are all heels. It's got to be a heel that gets it, because when the face gets it, it's not the same.
No, they had the year Xavier Woods.
It wasn't the same because Xavier,
he got to fight Roman Reigns.
He got forced to fight Roman Reigns. He was not supposed to fight Roman Reigns. This was during this pandemic thing. It's like, I feel like Xavier Woods is one of the greatest athletes that they are sleeping on in WWE. The problem is they won't let him be heel. They've never let him fully be the heel he's wanted to be.
Got to be merchandise or something.
No, the New Day is like,
where they're so popular.
Man, give me your 3.
Got to be Tiffany Stratton for sure. I think Nia would be fun only in the sense that she can then sort of say, like, I'm the, like, I've reached this pinnacle, give me another title
Absolutely.
shot, and then I don't know, the third one's kind of a wild card. I'm not sure. I love the Shayna Baszler idea.
Yeah, that's great.
Really funny because you get to both be kind of the like a badass, but also get some comedy out of it. So she's been doing a lot of really funny TikToks and stuff. Have you seen?
Yeah,
she was like in the back seat while the girls were singing, and it was like, okay, this is there's a lot here.
She's showing personality.
Everything that Ronda Rousey didn't have. Ooh. Sorry, everybody.
Let's also get to
this is not a Ronda Rousey podcast.
So for men, I'm gonna go Gunther. I don't want to see Drew McIntyre get it, but I want to see Gunther be King of the Ring. And I would,
with Ludwig as a, ladies and gentlemen, King Gunther.
King Gunther has got a great ring to it.
Does have a good ring.
I'm only going Gunther. I don't see anybody else believably heel being King of the Ring.
Who's Ilya Dragunov?
It's too soon.
But but them in the tournament finals, or just give them 20 minutes on Raw, commercial free. What?
Yeah. I want to see him be a part of Imperium. That's what I thought was going to happen when they kicked out
Giovanni.
And that's a shame that I don't know his name. So anyway, give me
we saw that coming.
King of the Ring.
Drew doesn't need it, but I think he could have fun with it.
Listen, punk.
Yeah,
listen to me.
Yeah, the last great king was, I'm forgetting his name from Braveheart, William Wallace, Scottish king.
Mel Gibson.
Friend of the podcast.
Friend of the show.
But no, definitely not him. I think it's tough because, like you were saying, you don't want somebody who is in the mid card, or you want somebody that's in the mid card that they can get something out of it. Mm-hmm. And NXT guys feels like a little too soon. So I don't know. That's a tough one. Definitely heel. I would say I don't know. Come back to me.
All right.
There's a couple of comments. JP says this. MTK says this. They want Carmelo or Gunther. Carmelo over. All right. I'm tripping. I don't want to bury him. I'm not on my Corey Graves thing right now.
Yeah, well, and I think the thing, I don't know how you could beat Gunther in this tournament.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. The first round is him and Sheamus too. So I'm like,
Sheamus was already king, so he doesn't need it.
yeah.
He needs something, but he doesn't need it. Burger after burger after burger.
It was great.
Fire, bro. He said it, man.
He did, yeah.
We missed some moments. We ain't been on for 2 weeks.
Angle was King of the Ring. That was a question. And he was a really funny King of the Ring, too.
He was brilliant.
Yeah.
And that was the night he wrestled like 4. He did both the King of the Ring matches and the Shane McMahon match.
I think you guys kind of nailed it because like King of the Ring, ultimately, if you look at who's won, it often is about wrestling talent, ability, Owen Hart, Bret Hart, to some extent even Austin then, because it was about sort of the grit of sticking.
You talk about your John 3:16.
You got to always finish it. You can never start it and not finish it.
Okay. Well, I thought you were going to finish it.
Well, Austin 3:16 says, I just whooped your ass.
That was the first time I ever heard. I knew the term "thump your Bible," man.
Yeah.
I had never heard that phrase.
Yeah.
I used to tell people that. I'm like, well, why do you like wrestling? Because it's improving my SAT score.
Yeah.
Deal with that.
Yo,
You're just carrying Jake the Snake guy.
Yeah.
biggest gate of any arena show in WWE history. Then they said the number. And that's what blew me away. Because I don't understand how this is the biggest gate in arena history. And they only had 11,000 people.
Inflation.
Maybe.
Financial, yeah.
Because I'm like, how? When they were like, I'm like, oh, this must be like 70,000 people. They're like, 11,000 people.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
and then they also said arena, so it's not like an open air.
Stadium,
Oh, stadium. That's why I'm confused. Okay, that makes sense. WWE's on fire right now.
And French money costs more than American money.
Is the French dollar?
I have no idea.
Euro. It's a euro. But I think they're close now. But I think it is maybe a little bit more than the US dollar.
So we had Backlash. Backlash felt great. I love the stores that they're building. They're going straight into. Also, Vegas is hosting WrestleMania next year.
Yes,
which I'm like,
that's
right
cool.
next door.
I still don't want to go, but
I'm gonna go.
What do you mean you don't want to? What do you mean you don't want to go?
I like watching it at home. Unless if I'm going, I get backstage.
Oh yeah.
He went to WrestleMania both nights this year.
Yeah.
The whole weekend. WWE World too, right?
WWE World, went to NXT TakeOver, Hall of Fame, I went to Ring of Honor instead of SmackDown, which I like.
Yeah, why not?
Shout out to my boy Dalton Castle, So, shout out to the Austin Gun, the Gun Club,
What sound was that?
That was a peacock.
Not just beautiful, they sound beautiful too.
Shout out to my boys Matt Taven, Mike Benny, Undisputed Kingdom, shout out. Also Mania on 420 next year, bro. Smoke them if you got it, dude. Yeah, dude. 419, 420, brother. Little Easter he has risen, brother.
Give me a Mount Rushmore of WWE wrestlers.
WWE wrestlers.
Yes.
Okay. I gotta go Brett, Sean. Are we talking pure wrestling?
We're talking your favorites, whatever they might be.
Universally speaking.
Okay, because I always I like to divide them amongst like star power and then like pure wrestling.
This is so far you got,
but that's okay. I'll do it. I'll merge them.
Okay.
Austin. I can't say Flair because you said WWF wrestler, and I believe much of his greatness was actually NWA and WCW.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. We got Austin. Gotta go The Rock.
Goddamn right.
Undertaker is a very close there.
Yeah.
But I feel like The Rock, he changed the game.
Yeah.
Just as Austin did, and just as
absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, when you put the Undertaker on here,
man, that's such a great
Undertaker,
impression.
great TED Talk. He's on my TED Talk Mount Rushmore, but not necessarily for.
One day I was a dead man. Now I'm a father, a patriot, a husband, an American.
One of my number one.
Hey, let me tell you something, boy. When I start seeing them shirts where he said thin blue line, I was like,
yeah.
Undertaker is definitely a Texas man.
Yeah.
I don't understand why you don't support our
boys in blue.
Chat, I can't thank you enough for watching the episode today. I can't thank you enough for getting involved. You guys are actually breaking records as live viewers as we've had. Do me a favor, though. Everybody who's been commenting, everybody who's been watching live, when this episode goes live tomorrow, come back and comment again so we can have these numbers added in. Even if you comment something different, you might have missed something that you were commenting and you can watch it again tomorrow. In the meantime, Mark, you've been an amazing guest, friend of the show. You will be back because we like your style. What's coming up, man? What you working on? What you want to tell the people? How can they find you?
Well, they can find me on Instagram. I'm at Mark Melara. Very easy. MarkMelara. I'm on Twitter, but I don't really like it, so I don't use it that much. And as far as big things coming up, working on a great project with your last guest, Jermaine Fowler.
Hey, I love it.
Yeah.
Is this the one that he's working out for?
I don't know. I hope he's working out for this. We want him to look the best. No, this is a fun project with some big studios, and it's gonna be a good time.
Can't wait to get the call.
Yeah.
Martin, what's coming up, man? What do you want to talk about?
I want the call too. Can I get the call?
Yeah,
you gotta get the call.
Yeah, you can get the call.
What'd you say, Mark? Martino Heat.
Martino Heat, ese vato, Marty Marrero. Hey, if you're in the Seattle area, Holmes, check me out May 16th through 18th. I'm at Club Comedy Seattle. I got other shows around Los Angeles until then. And I'm gonna be in Albania doing comedy.
What?
At the end of June, early July. So if there's anyone listening in Albania, you know people in Albania, hit me up on the gram at Martin and Morrow. And then the Netflix is a Joke shows tonight, 9 p.m. at Kookaburra Lounge, on the 11th at West Side Comedy Theater. So let's have some fun.
I love it all.
So someone in the chat asked you, CT, what are your thoughts on Kendrick versus Drake?
I'll tell you my thoughts right now. Woo! Now, I will say I am coming off of my sold out show on the 24th of April. Great show. My next show that I am doing, that I am producing, is May 25th, Memorial Day weekend. It will be in LA. If you are in LA, come. We're doing a CT Singing Showcase live. I'm only doing 50 seats. So when these tickets are gone, they are gone. It's going to be one of the greatest nights of entertainment of all time. My birthday is May 9th. So I don't want any happy early birthday wishes, because I hate those. When people wish you happy early birthday, that means, hey, I don't really care enough about you to remember your actual birthday.
Yeah. They're not sending you a gift. That's
they're
for
not
sure.
doing it. Yeah. So if you remember May 9th, hit me up. But in the meantime, tomorrow night, which is Monday, the 6th, I will be doing a show with Matt Rife in the Belly Room at a Comedy Store. So come check that out. It's going to be crazy. Outside of that, can never thank you guys enough for the love and support. I think we're doing the after show right now. All right, we're about to do the after show to take down on our Patreon. If you have not subscribed to the Patreon, go do so. Get some of the Before the Bell merch. Also, thank you. We out.
Yeah.